Hello everyone, my name is Anurag Barjo and I will be talking about the topic web hosting. So, what is web hosting? Web hosting is a service that allows organizations and individuals to post a website or web page onto the internet. Basically, if you ever create a website, how would you show them to the public? By web hosting. Web hosting is a necessity for any website. It is the physical location of your website on the internet, an online storage center that houses the information, images, videos, and whatever content that comprises in your website. A web hosting service is a type of internet hosting service that allows individuals and organizations to make their website accessible via the www or World Wide Web. Web hosts are companies that provide space on a server owned or leased for use by the clients, as well as providing internet connectivity, typically in a data center. Now, we can tell in a nutshell, web hosting is the process of renting or buying space to house a website on the World Wide Web. Website content such as HTML, CSS, and images has to be housed on a server to be viewable online. When a hosting server allocates space on a web server for a website to store its files, they are hosting a website. Web hosting makes the files that comprise a website, code, images available for viewing online. What exactly is a server? A server is a computer that connects other web users to your site from anywhere in the world. And from anywhere, I mean anywhere. As the name implies, web hosting service providers have the servers, connectivity, and associated servers to host websites. By offering a variety of hosting plans, they cover the spectrum of hosting needs from small blogs to mid organizations and large organizations. The amount of space allocated on a server to a website depends on the type of hosting. The main types of hosting are shared, dedicated, and VPS. We will talk about them in a few minutes. They are differentiated by the kind of technology used for the server, by the level of management provided, and the additional services offered. Now, types of hosting. The first type is shared hosting. Shared hosting is perfect for entry-level website hosting. They are where your website will be stored on the same server as multiple other websites. With the shared hosting plans, all the domains share the same resources, same RAM, CPU. Because all resources are shared, the cost of sharing hosting websites are relatively very low, and that makes them an excellent option for website owners in the beginning stages. Now let's talk about VPS. VPS or Virtual Private Server Hosting plan is the ultimate mid-ground between a shared server and a dedicated server. It's deal for the website owners that need more control but don't necessarily need a dedicated server. VPS hosting is unique because each website hosted within its own space and the server, so it still shares a physical server with other users. While VPS hosting provides website owners with more customization and storage space, they are still not able to handle incredibly high traffic levels or spikes in usage, means that the site performance can still be affected by other sites on the server. Now, let's talk about dedicated server hosting. Dedicated hosting gives website owner the most control over the server that their website is stored on. That's because the server is exclusively rented or owned by you. The website that you created is the only website on the server. This means that you have full root and admin access, so you have the control of everything over the operating system that you run. However, all that control comes with a price. Dedicated server costs are one of the most expensive web hosting options. Now, let's talk about a few lines about domain. Domain. What is domain? Domain name is the address of your website that people type in browser URL bar to visit your website. In simple terms, it if your website was a house, then domain is your address. A domain name can be any combination of letters and numbers. It can be used in combination of various domain name extensions such as .com, .net, .org, and many more. The domain name must be registered before you can use it. Every domain name is unique. Now, no two websites can ever have the same domain. Like for example, if your domain name is www.yourdomain.com, it will go to your website and not no one's else. The internet is a giant computer network connected to each other through a global network of cables. Each computer on the network can communicate with each other. There are a few questions which needs to be covered, like how to get a web hosting, how to register a domain, host your website on a web server. Let's talk a few minutes about it. The easiest way you can host a website is by using a hosting platform like host locality. Now, we are talking about the hosting website on the internet. Follow these four simple. I will teach you about four simple steps how you can host your website with a hosting provider. First, compare hosting companies. There are many hosting companies. You would have heard about Namecheap or GoDaddy or Name.com, Domain.com. They are the most popular global registers. Each of these companies have a slightly different user interface, but it will get you the end result same as per everyone. Now, second step is by choosing a website hosting company. Once you have looked upon the top companies and the available options, you need to pick one. There are a number of features you should consider while choosing a website hosting company. Some features are like the uptime, support, free domain name, value for money, bandwidth. These are some features you should surely look upon. Now, choose the website hosting plan. Once you have host platform, you will look like you still need to narrow your decision down to a plan. There are numerous types of hosting: shared, dedicated, VPS. We talked about them, and there is usually a dedicated plan for you, which you need as per you. Now, the last step is to register your domain name. It's all well and good having a plot and an internet land, but without an address, no one will be able to find you. That's what domain name is. You will have to register your name. Like Google is. Google's address is www.google.com. You get the idea? Your site will need a domain as well. Now, we will cover a other topic about DNS. I would like to introduce the topic DNS. What is DNS? DNS is domain name system. It is one of the most important part of the internet today. DNS is essentially a server or hierarchical configuration of servers that act as a phone book for network. DNS translates a host name of a computer, to an IP address, phone number of a computer. If you type google.com in your browser doesn't see it as the world like we see it. Your browser sees it as an IP address. Just as when you select a contact in your cell phone sees a phone number. So that's all from my side. I will be ending here. Thank you. My name is Anurag Barjo, signing off.